A quick history. The Philippines during pre-colonial period in which indigenous people engaged in healthy trade with a variety of culture and economies in the region, gave way to the long colonial period first under Spain for 300 years, then under the United States during which it was briefly occupied by the Japanese during World War II, before finally gained the independence in 1946.
Now, let's talk about culture. The Philippines is a culture in which East meets West. The Filipino people have a distinct Asian background with a strong Western tradition. The modern Filipino culture developed through influence from Chinese traders, Spanish conquistadors, and American rulers. As friendly as we are known for, the hospitality of Filipinos is a common trait that can be recognized through their convivial and heartwarming characters. These can typically be observed in how Filipinos pleasantly welcome their guests, locals or foreigners.
World-renowned natural wonders such as underground river, rice terraces, diving spot enriched biodiversity, colorful public transportation, unique cuisines, vibrant festival that showcase the country's colorful culture, and friendly local regards as some of the happiest in the world can be found in the Philippines.
So now let's go to Filipino cuisines. We have lechon, sinigang, adobo, lumpia, kare-kare, humba, and many more. First is lechon. Lechon, one of the top contenders among the best Filipino dishes. So kung wala pa pagkapilaw, pilaw na! So, second is adobo. Adobo is one of the most popular Filipino dishes. Third is sinigang. It's a classic Filipino soup characterized by its sour and savory medley of flavors. This is usually served on its own paired with steamed rice on rainy days to ward off the cold. So, Filipino food is simply cooked and always a pleasure to serve and eat. The blend of flavor and texture that makes them stand out. Also, the warmth extended to family and friends motivates Filipino to cook with love. The typical Filipino meal is composed of vegetables, seafoods, dairy, meats, and rice. Let's move to indigenous craft. We have cloth weaving, jewelry making, and basket weaving. Indigenous visual arts provide a means of cultural expression and are a vehicle for the maintenance and transmission of the culture. The visual arts are used to promote health and well-being. They improve the lives of indigenous women and provide self-esteem to young indigenous people. Indigenous Philippine art is made by indigenous peoples of the Philippines. It includes works in raw materials such as extract from trees, fruits, and vegetables. Some of the art treasure of the Philippines is found rock and caves, in trees and woods. One of them is the art of weaving of natural products like abaca, a kind of hemp or the pineapple leaves. And this natural product is so common in the Philippines since the country is the largest pineapple producer in the world and abaca grows well in some regions of the country.
First, let's move on to painting. Juan Luna's oil on canvas painting Spolarium features a glimpse into the history of Rome and the bloody consequences of these matches. The painting depicts dying gladiators who are being drugged by Roman soldiers. Second, sculpture. The People Power Monument o Bantayog ng Lakas Bayan is the sculpture of the People Power Revolution that took place in 1986 at EDSA and White Plains Avenue, Quezon City, Philippines. Third one is theater. In the Philippines, the Zarzuela is a play with songs and dances, usually written in prose, containing from 1 to 5 acts, depicting vagaries of romantic love among idealized.
One of the characteristic Filipino values is mano, the common gesture used to greet known as mano, often referred to as blessed in English, Mano is performed as a sign of respect towards elder and as a way of accepting blessings from the elder. It's usually done towards those who are older by 2 generations or more. And the second characteristics of Filipino values is hospitality. As a matter of fact, Filipinos would usually greet their visitors with the phrase "feel at home" to ensure that they are eased during their stay. For Filipinos, it is just pleasure and country to honor accept foreigners as a visitors by build genuine relationship and friendships with them. And the third characteristics is hardworking. Filipinos are known to be hardworking, multitasker, putting our love and dedication into our work is a way of showing pride in our country. There is always that Filipino touch in everything we do.
Now let's move on to government. The Philippines is a republic with a presidential form of government, wherein power is equally divided into 3 branches: executive, legislative, and judicial. One corollary in the presidential system of government is the separation of power, wherein legislation belongs to legislative, execution belongs to executive, and the settlement of legal controversies to the judiciary.
One of the economy of Filipino culture is agriculture. It's the art of science and cultivating the soil, growing crops, and raising livestock. It includes the preparation of plants, animals, products for people use, the distribution of the markets. Agriculture provides the most world's food and fabrics. And the second is fishing. Fishing is a way of life of the Filipino in the Philippines. The number of people working the Filipinos fisheries sector estimated around 1 million. The business of the fishing is central to the economy of the culture of the islands.
In social group, the Philippines is a culturally diverse country with an estimated 14 to 17 million indigenous people belong to 110 ethno-linguistic groups. They are mainly concentrated in northern Luzon. Cordillera Administrative Region have 32% of the country and Mindanao have 61%, while some of the groups are found in the Visayas area.
Tagalog is the language that originated in the Philippine Islands. It is the first language of most Filipinos and the second language of most others. More than 50 million Filipinos speak Tagalog in the Philippines, and 24 million people speak that language worldwide. Also, the Philippines has 8 major delegates, listed in a figure from top to bottom: Bicol, Cebuano, Hiligaynon, Ilonggo, Ilocano, Kapampangan, Pangasinan, Tagalog, and Waray.
Baybayin, also known as Alibata. The script is an alpha-syllabary belonging to the family of the Brahmic script. It was widely used in the Luzon and other parts of the Philippines prior to and during the 16th and 17th centuries before being replaced by the Latin alphabet during the period of Spanish colonization.
And now, religion. The first record of conversation in the Philippines occurred on this island on April 14, 1521, when the king and queen of Cebu, as well as the other subject, converted to Catholicism during Sunday Mass. According to one source, Magellan's priest baptized up to 800 Cebuanos. Catholicism is the most common religion in the Philippines, with estimated 79.53% of the people following this faith.
Festivals. Festivals in the Philippines are an integral aspect of local culture. Knowing their grand, vibrant celebration to the reason of the Catholic spiritual with several festivals celebrated here and religion-based like Sinulog, Ati-Atihan, Binagyan, and many more.